Welcome back, guys. So, new day. We're putting this up on a new day now. Isn't that amazing? So, I'd like to explain that for those who don't watch my Starbound series, which has now ended. Um, I'd like to quickly go through that little bit there. So, Starbound is ending because I can no longer have I don't have the time to keep two of these going and still live a life. Okay, so I chose to keep this series alive because it's Minecraft. It's the first one. It's more important to me. So there you go. Now, Minecraft has moved to Tuesday, Thursday because I actually like that formation better because there's not such a long time between the episodes. There's only one day in between. Allows you to get your Minecraft fix, back to back almost, and then it's done and over with. Um, yeah, there you go. For those of you joining us from the Starbound series, welcome. If you haven't already watched the series, then welcome. If you have, then welcome back. Anyways, today's episode. As you can see, we're in the thingy. What do you call this thingy? The Purification Center. Now, I believe the last episode we were way over at base, working in the thing that we're digging underneath. I'm getting some high encoding going off because it wouldn't be Minecraft if I didn't. Now, I chose to temporarily cease that project because this one here needs it more. Okay, so we've already installed all of the thingamajigs, and I'm thinking, the isolation cells, and I'm thinking there's a lot we can do to improve them. And I'm going to be working off camera in a creative world to see if I can't get some redstone wizardry going. I've also decided that we're going to change this a little bit. Just thinking in my head and stuff like that. This worked well as like a lure and stuff. I can't really move further. But there's one key issue with it. And it's really quite a simple one. Is it nighttime? I feel like it's nighttime. It is coming up tonight. Okay. The one key issue is that I have to stand at the other end and attract them. And honestly, I don't want to go in there if I don't have to. I'd love for it to be a closed loop. And I know how to do that. Essentially, what we'll do is we'll have this, because we have water, or will have water, feeding from there, which will come to here and stop and drop them into here. If I set water back far enough, I should be able to push it into a center hole and have it come across to here. Okay, I can then put a sign here over the hole, so they come over and then they fall in. One falls in, or maybe two, probably a couple, more likely. And then we can have water continue, start here, and go that way as well. And the same thing all the way to there. Then instead of having this big open area over there that mimics what we have over here, instead it'll just be a turn. It'll just be a turn in the track, and then turn, and then turn. It'll feed back through here, back into this one. Quite possibly underneath this. Just have it feed right back into it. No, it'd have to be here, so it would feed back in. And honestly, I'd love to be able to figure out a way to lift the entities up one level. Whoops. So instead of them coming back level with this, they were coming back, the water was here, so it drops them into it again, so that they can funnel properly. That way, any mobs that are in the system will constantly be cycling around while we're dealing with these. I feel like that could be a more efficient way. It might be a longer way and more tedious to build. It would also look a lot cooler because you'd have mobs all around you. But it feels like it'd be more efficient than me trying to run up and then come back down, and then run up and then come back down. But we're not going to be working on that today because I need to test a lot of it in creative. What we are going to be working on is right here in this chest. A book. Very exciting, I know. That's what the book contains that's important. The village exit coordinates. We're actually going to dig the tunnel to the village. Now, this is a specific point at the village. It is actually on the near side of the monolith, right? Because I want them to come out there because the monolith is supposed to be the center, if you will, of the village. And we're going to have the actual exit this way. And I want it 3x3 minimum, much like our old underground tunnel that we were using. Now, if you look at this coordinates, sorry, I wanted them at the monolith because the monolith is supposed to be the center of the map, and it works well for it being the center of the village. Plus, it's the only thing that's not a house or a garden. And I don't want them coming out of a house because then they'll just stay in the house. There's this big elaborate thing I want to try and work on with minecarts and automated, what do you call it, disembarking systems. Making the villagers get out of the minecart automatically into a specific location so that they're in a safe location and they're outside. But if you look at the coordinates, the village is at 64. Okay, when you look at our coordinates, we're at 52. So we got to go up quite a bit. I mean, even that, we're looking at 58. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to do an interesting entrance. Because it's going to be on minecarts, we don't need to gradually staircase up. We're actually going to go straight over to the actual to the village. So say we're here. We're actually going to go straight over to the village, which we'll say is here. And then we're going to dig straight up until we meet the top. Then what we'll do is we'll have the minecart come over, and then it'll spiral up the walls, right, in the walls, if you will, up to the top, where there will be the system that disembarks them and stuff. So, today's episode is going to be us digging, a lot of digging. We need to go to negative 461 and negative 308. Okay, now 308 is that way. Okay, technically 308 is right here, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to dig this way a bit, then that way, then straight that way. So they go around like a little S-curve type effect. So we need, what was the number? 416. So it's quite a distance that way. So we'll go 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go 7 blocks deep. Okay? This way. Because that'll give us plenty of space to do any decorative stuff on the inside or outside. I'm going to dig this one entirely out just because it's going to bug me if I don't. I'm going to get rid of that because it's obnoxious and in the face. Yeah. Now, the tunnel is going to match the interior of the purification center. And the upgrades to the purification center that I'm thinking, the redstone contraptions and mechanics and stuff, they're actually pretty simple ideas. And I can actually talk to you about them now because we got pretty much nothing else to do. Instead of having, like we have these locked like this, right? And we have something in there. If it's something we want, then we can deal with it. But if it's not, we have to kill it. And if it's a creeper, we have to get really close and back off, really close, back off, or use a bow and shoot through the little gap that's here. Either way, risky, and I don't want to deal with it. But we have this block, and we have that block. More importantly, we have this block, okay? Because what we can do is if we put something here, or maybe even here, possibly there, maybe down here somewhere, we could rig up some sort of system that will like use a flint and steel or something to automatically kill them. That would be that'd be kind of nice and interesting. Just a thought, of course. Now, in this case, we have to go. What are we going to? We're going to 308. Okay, so let's just dig that to 308, and then I'll keep talking about that. I don't want to mess this up too badly. 311, 310, 309, 308. Okay, so this is the center point of that tunnel. Whoop. So, in addition to using the anti, I don't know, creeper and or skeleton, because everything can burn, which is beautiful. Another thing I was thinking of doing is having, instead of having all of the controls on the wall, actually having the controls on a panel line here. So there'd be like a 3x3 workstation here, which would be like the locking mechanism, which would control both of those and shut it. We can feed the redstone underneath one here. Then this one here, we just have to figure out how to power that. And I assume if we power this block, it'll power that, because that's how that works now. But I'm thinking if we send a current to the block, it should still trigger that one anyways. Or we may move this one to the other side as well and have them both be powered. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll put like a piston underneath and have it shoot up, and then one here that'll shoot down, or something. I don't know. But the point is, we'd have like a control panel here. This wall would have to get moved back, of course, in order to do this. And then we could see it and be like, okay, this is the lock mechanism. And be like, all right, it's just a standard zombie kill. And then when another one drops in, oh, that's a zombie villager. Excellent. Then we'd hit, like, we go over, we purify it and stuff like that. And then when it's purified, we'd hit open, and it would open up the door for us. Another method would be some sort of, maybe even trying to automate as much as possible of it. Not so much, I didn't even hear that break. I feel like some of my sounds must be way down low, because I didn't, not video, audio. Because I didn't hear that go off. Like, I didn't hear the thing break. Unless they took that out of it, which would be kind of annoying. But it's possible. You never know. Anyways. Yeah, automating some of it. Not so much the, like, to the point of where it can run by itself. But more of, like, the kill switch, the opening stuff, maybe even automating the dispensers to purify villagers, automating the emergency retreat for them. Whoops, I went too far there because I wasn't really paying attention. Oh no, I gotta go in right anyways. Because, whoops, that torch is the center. Like automating the like ejection track. There we go. Now this needs to go until when? It needs to go until negative 461. Now that's gonna be a long tunnel. Alright, let's just do this. Let's just plop them out in a nice good long line, and then we can go from there. So, yeah, so we can have it automated to the point where it's literally you could man the station and we could be able to do them fairly quickly. In the case of like I don't know what I call it, the burning, the purging of the cells, it would be pretty straightforward, honestly. Like, I wouldn't be trying to do anything fancy with it, like killing it all the way or anything like that. I might have it so that it would kill to like a certain amount of damage, like it would burn it like once or twice so that it was like one punch, and then I could use it as a bit of an XP grinder, or at least get some loot from it. But part of me says just kill it outright and get it over with, because it would be a much more effective system, as the kill button would send a signal that would trigger a bunch. Now the redstone of that I don't really know. Again, that's something I'd have to work out in creative and then go from there. But either way, it's something I want to look at. Another thing I want to look at, possibly in an episode, is we're going to be working with the minecarts in order to get these villagers out. And I'd love to figure out some automated disembarking stuff. Because I know that they have activator carts, or tracks, right? Activator tracks, I think that's what they're called. And I know that on a player, they'll disembark you. You'll get out of the cart, essentially. It needs to go like 60 something. But my question is, does it do the same thing to villagers? I've never really tried it with the villagers, so I don't know if it will. It'd be interesting to see if it does. In addition to that, if it does work, can we still pick up or have the cart somehow cycle back? Because if we can have it so it disembarks using the activator and the cart is still active on the track, we could probably work out a way to get the cart to come back down the track without bringing the villager, of course, and into like a holding location, which we could then determine was for that, say, that specific cell. Oh, here we go. I think we're here, right? 461 is here. I think this is where we want. Yep. So this is where we want. So that needs to go there and there. So here's what we're going to do, okay? It's pretty much the episode. So I'll dig the rest of this out off camera. And I'll dig the shaft up and stuff like that. Skeleton. We could have an interesting tunnel. We could have a very boring tunnel. It's long, but not super long. It's about the same length as what the skeleton tunnel was. Actually, it's a little shorter now that I think about it. But yeah, so I guess I will see you when I see you.